you start with introducing yourself.
My name is Frederic Maizeret. I'm in charge of sales at SoftAtHome. So SoftAtHome is a pure software provider proposing software for routers, repeaters, connected home, and on top of this, we have integration services. I will focus on 3 points regarding SoftAtHome and what we can bring with prpl integration. So first of all, we are a company that has been created by operators for operators, and we have more than 15 years of experience in this field. So we know what we are talking about in terms of integration and software. Second, it's related to the product and what we are offering with prpl. So we are proposing an augmented software stack for prpl. As my colleagues Mark said this morning, roughly today, roughly 50% of the software comes from the prpl foundation, but there are needs from the operators, either for added value services or for customized services. So we are proposing a stack for this, and I will only focus on one thing and an example that we are having with our own customer. So we've been able with one customer to reduce by 30% the number of cores compared to the legacy software he had. Last point, it's related to software integration, and I will not go really in details on this. So we have an extensive experience with the hardware vendors, the chipset vendors, all over those years, and with the operators. Besides, we've been working a lot and extensively on prpl. We are one of the contributors, so we can help operator benefiting from our experience. So that's it for me.
Great, thanks. Eli?
Okay, my name is Schwarzfuchs. I am head of Broadband for GlobalLogic. GlobalLogic is a software engineering services company. We have more than 30,000 employees all over the globe. Of course, not all of them working on broadband. We have about 2,000 people working on broadband and media. When I talk about media, I'm referring to set-top boxes, IoT, and technology related. So we are part of the broadband journey for more than 10 years with many types of proprietary software, proprietary middleware, different kind of middleware. But I think we decided to be part of prpl quite a long time ago. I think if I remember well, our first participation in the prpl Summit was 5 years ago. So I think we are one of the veterans. And at that time, we also contributed more than now, unfortunately. We contributed to mainly to the prpl Mesh project. And as a company, we work with both ODM and ISP. So sometimes we are contracted by an ODM to develop part of the software, or we assume full responsibility on the solution. Sometimes we work with the operator. Again, same model. Usually the operator will also retain some R&D team from his side, so depends on the proportion. And lately, we were involved also we are still involved in a prplware project that actually is going to be also deployed in the near future, I would say.
Great, thank you, Eli. Oscar?
My name's Oscar Hernandez with Capgemini. Capgemini is a global consulting and services company headquartered here in Paris. We work across a lot of disciplines and different industries. Probably most relevant to the telecom industry is Capgemini Engineering. It was formed the combination of Ericsson, Altran, and Capgemini a few years ago. We have about 60,000 engineers worldwide working on product engineering, product development, all the way from product strategy, software, hardware development, integration and testing, and deployment services, operations support. It's kind of across the board. And we also have design services through our Frog design arm.
Hey, thank you, Oscar. Peter?
Hi, I'm Peter Fox. I'm from ConsultRed. I'm a VP of sales for ConsultRed. I've been with them for just over 11 years now. ConsultRed is an employee-owned, independent professional services businesses, which is focused in the broadband and media sectors. We're considerably smaller than some of the guys here. We're only like around 250 staff, founded in 2003. We have offices in the UK, in Poland and the US. Our services range from strategic advice to full end-to-end platform, hardware, software, cloud. Typically, our customers are tier one operators, although we do work with OEMs and SOC vendors. Typically, we're there to solve the niche, tricky problems or drive innovation for our key customers. What we see at the moment is operators are very interested in solutions built on open source and adopting open standards, which is really aligned to the themes of today. So what do we do with Purple? I guess one thing we probably have to admit is we're also a key contributor to RDK. So we work with both Purple and RDK and Broadband Forum. I guess what we're best known for in Purple is the LCM work. We architected the LCM solution with our colleagues at SoftAtHome to the end here, but we've also provided the DAC solution for RDK Video and Broadband, which provides the same service. We've previously upstreamed the Purple LCM support into RDK, or available for RDK, and we're just showing today bringing the OCI bundle support into Purple LCM. So, meaning that basically you can have in RDK you can use the Purple LCM to support OCI bundles or LXC containers, and you can do the same in Purple. So a really nice way to try and mean that you can do containers in the same manner across any platform. We've done various other contributions into the Purple community, but I think the key thing for now is we're very keen to continue to work further with Purple, especially as it drives towards its certification and maintenance initiatives. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Peter. All right, we'll start the question with Eli, and then we'll come down this way, and then Frederic is the last to answer this question. Can you describe the key benefits of using a system integrator to port Purpleware on broadband CPE?
Okay, so first of all, I want to emphasize that this is the first time, and again, we participate in a few Purple Summits. There is the first time we have an SI integrate roundtable, and moreover, we are 4 of them. So it means that there is a need and there is a demand, and it means also a lot about Purple. It's true that Purple is becoming more and more popular, and there are more and more RFPs around Purple, etc. About system integrator need. So basically there are the operator itself is making the decision, okay? He will is making the decision on what kind of software he wants, what kind of ODM he will choose, what is the chipset, etc. And then he has to make a second decision who will develop the software for him. In the past, I would say it was mostly by the ODM. And finally, they find out that it's not efficient. They have an install base of many routers, of many ODMs with many types of software, and every change will cost a lot of money. So they will maybe decide to take out the responsibility for the software from the ODM and to decouple between software and hardware. This way, they will ensure that the software will be fully portable, fully agnostic, and they are not locked to a specific ODM. So this will be one of the key point decision for the operator, and then the operator will have to decide if he wants to develop it by himself, or he wants to have a system integrator. And usually, I would say what I saw till now, it will be, many times it will be kind of combination. Many big operators are going the way of Purple, and usually they will have their own R&D team with the help of system integrator, and can be from 20% of the work of 80. Some will give a full responsibility to the operator, to the system integrator, and it means that the system integrator will be the prime for the operator. He will be in charge of everything related to maintenance, but this is maybe another question. So that's it.
Great. Oscar?
I guess I would just add, kind of on top of that, is really it gives the operator flexibility. So, as you said, you can operate in different models that, either do a lot of the development internally or just a bit of it, but it provides flexibility and scalability to be able to develop the products more quickly. And then obviously can work across different hardware platforms using common software. And then can also help with transitioning into the operations phase by helping with operations support and maintenance. And
Great. Peter, anything to add?
I was just going to say, I guess, using some of the people here today, I guess it brings that knowledge of Purple, being people who've contributed or created the code in the first place, so have that knowledge and experience of integrating it and bringing it to the market. So,
Great. Frederic?
Well, everything has been said. So I think we on the same line, which is good. So to summarize, I would say being independent from the hardware vendor, giving some flexibility. And I would add a second thing: all of us are fully dedicated to software and not hardware, which changes a little bit the mindset and the tools and the way you develop things.
Great, thank you. Okay, this one we're going to start with Oscar. What support and maintenance services do you offer post-integration of Purpleware?
So as Cap Gemini, there's a myriad of services, starting with probably the obvious of kind of ongoing feature development and support, as well as operation support, even troubleshooting in the field, doing maintenance releases, upstep of Purple releases, maybe migrating that software base to other hardware platforms, testing services, integration services. Even an end-of-life service, for example, we can kind of maintain products that are end-of-life so that it minimizes the efforts needed by the operators. So I would say that's some of the examples.
Great, thanks. Peter, anything to add?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I guess as a professional services company, I guess we offer multiple ways of working. Often it's a case of actually educating the operator in how the system works that's been created, and either working as a build, operate, transfer model, or actually doing a training place to effectively replace ourselves to mean that the operator is self-sufficient, or as we were saying, you can remain in there providing innovation and new features. But it just depends on where the operator wants to be and what they want to do.
Great, thank you. Frederic?
Yes. For some of our customers, the box lasts more than 10 years. So in 10 years, many things are happening. So both in terms of technology and also in terms of network and anything that can happen at an operator. So we feel there is a need of support, either by us or someone else, but there is a need to support the boxes or the software during all those years. And we have developed what we call prpl insurance, because since we are very much involved in prpl, we see that there will be new release very often, and we are proposing to align those release and integrate them in the operator software. So we feel it's needed because if the operator wants to be up to date with the new services, he has to follow what's going on with prpl.
Yeah, so this time I'm the last one. Yeah, so everything I agree, you know, the regular maintenance stuff like bug fixing and so on, but I think that it was mentioned also before, but I want to emphasize that I would say the upgrade to the newest prpl version from the main branch is the biggest challenge, because usually, you know, the tendency is not to do it. You know, there is a router in the field. He doesn't have Wi-Fi 7. So why to change it? Why to upgrade it and to work on you know, on the upgrade process, and then there will be new bugs introduced, etc. And so that's why usually there is a tendency for keeping the old version and release only the new product with the new version. And this is exactly what we should prevent. So we should stand firm here and align everything in the field to the same prpl latest version.
Great, thank you. Peter, we'll start with you this time. How does your company collaborate with ISP/carriers to customize prplware for specific needs?
Sure. I mean, I guess the key thing for us is, you know, we work very, very close with our customers to really understand their needs, exactly what services, features, functions they're looking for, understand their market, to really try and build something that exactly fits their need and want. And that would be a combination of you know, open standard software from prpl, but also, you know, proprietary or custom elements that we would have to build and create. And, you know, our typical model in that instance is the IP resides with the operator who've engaged us to do that, and it's then in their gift, should they so choose, to then upstream it or get us to upstream it on their behalf to back to the community. But basically, you know, we use that to enable, I guess, the operator to differentiate, but still remain using the open standard.
Great, thank you. Frederic?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, as said by Peter, I mean, we have two kinds of customers. So with some of them, they have their own team. So basically, with those, and usually tier one, we are working with the team and cooperating with them in order to customize the product to their needs. And then it depends really on the staff and what they want to do. Then there are smaller customers, I would say, or customers that do not want to have their own team. And for those, we fully customize the software for them. So customization means very simple things. They have different backends. They have a different way of treating the data models. They have some specificities in terms in the way they implement the software, and we are doing this for them.
Thank you. Eli?
Yeah, so I would add just one more item that may be interesting in that aspect. I think there is a big importance to convince the customer to upstream to prpl back. And this is also a challenge, because some of them, it can be, by the way, ODM or an operator. They tend to not do it. They're not obliged to do it. And actually, I would say, I could say that for a system integrator, we are being paid for doing it again and again, but I don't think this is a good practice. So this is a point with cooperation between us and the customer. I think that it's very important. We, as system integrator, see a lot of requirement, a lot of customer, a lot of ISPs, and different RFQ, RVPs. So we know more or less what are the new requirements for each one of them. And sometimes they could benefit from the work that has been done already in the past and should be contributed back to the community.
Great, thank you. Oscar, anything to add?
I think most has been said, and the main thing is to collaborate on the requirements and the specific needs, especially interfacing to their existing back office systems. And sometimes there's requirements in there that people don't even remember why it's even used and things like that. So it's working through those requirements.
Great, thanks. Frederic, you're first this time. What are the future trends you foresee in the integration of open source software like Purpleware into broadband CPE?
Okay. That's a difficult question. I will start with community. We feel, and that's the purpose of all those discussions, that working in common is extremely important. And some of our colleagues have talked about services and so on. And definitely, we feel it's important to have an important database. So working together with all the industries, the cable industry, all the stakeholders, in order to have a possibility to have services on top. I think that's one of the key things that we have to do in the future to make this work and to make this be a success.
Thank you. Eli?
What was the question?
What are the future trends you foresee in the integration of open source software like Purpleware into broadband CPE?
So first of all, I think the SoC vendor participation and support. I suppose that over the time, when the community will grow, and it is growing, SoC vendor will provide full Purple SDK for the chipset. By the way, it may introduce new player to the Purple game, like tier 2 and tier 3 operators, not just tier 1. They may just use whatever is provided by the SoC vendor and sell it. And this is what they do now. Some of them, and it will be Purple, but without any specific customization or addition, etc. So this is, I think, one of the topics that I suppose there will be some progress and some movement.
Thank you. Oscar, anything to add?
So probably one of the things is just dealing with the open source licensing and better control over that. Probably even further drive into more kind of a microservices architecture, so you can upgrade parts of it easier than if you have a certain class of customers that has a problem, you can upgrade just those customers, so to quickly resolve issues in the field. So I think it'll be more of a shift toward operations focus, and those are kind of the main things.
Okay, Peter.
I mean, I guess the exciting thing we heard about today is the fact that we'll have some real use case and real user stories coming out with the launch of the product. So we may find that all of our ideas are completely different to how the product is actually used in end consumers' homes. And I think we're also seeing that drive towards that. I think people have talked about it today, the idea of edge compute, using, harnessing that broadband router in the home. I mean, for many operators, be that, we work in media as well as broadband, you're seeing this is the last device in the home that's controlled by an operator, and it has so much potential. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it is really used and how it can best help the customer.
Thank you. I think we have time to get into the bonus round. Questions, backup questions now. All right. Eli starts. What are the typical timelines for a full integration of Purpleware on a new CPE model?
What will be?
What are the typical timelines for
sorry.
a full integration?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so, I can give you any number, okay? But, I will start with the parameters, what will impact the timeline. So one of them is the SoC vendor and whether he's providing something well-tested for Purple, etc. It's not only the SoC, it's also a combination of SoC and the OEM. And by the way, we as a system integrator, usually we have the role of identifying if there is a problem in the BSP, usually we as the system integrator will have to isolate the issue and to prove, for example, to the SoC, which usually it's a very big organization like Broadcom, Qualcomm, and all those giants. So in order to get support for them, you need to prove them that this is a problem. So the maturity of this part is very important. Another factor will be, is it the first Purple implementation for this specific operator? Okay, if it will be the first, it will be definitely longer than for the second. And in general, I think that I would say it can last between, on the ideal case, where the SoC is already, we are not changing the SoC, for example, a new box with some new capabilities, etc. It can take even 3 months. Just to test it on the network, to make acceptance tests, etc. And according to our experience, I think that in 12 months, again, if there are not extraordinary requirements, in 12 months, we can. This is a worst case. We can be ready with a system to deploy.
Thank you. Lisa, I didn't ask you how much it cost, right? Oscar, you got anything?
No, I think you hit the main, the main points, which is the hardware interfaces, and then obviously the first implementation of Purple for a carrier is going to take quite a bit longer than subsequent implementations, and the level of customization needed.
Peter, anything to add?
No, I think
Okay.
I think the two guys nailed it. I think.
Okay, Frederic.
No, exactly the same. I have hope, or at least that's a promise of Purple, that more job will be done by the SOC vendors to have a stack, a ready stack. Purple ready stack will help us spending more times on innovation than on integration. But we agree with what has been said.
Great, thank you. All right, I think it's Oscar that gets the first question. What are the main challenges you face when integrating Purpleware into existing CPE?
That's a loaded question.
I saved that one for you.
Yeah, thank you. It starts with the level of support for the low-level API by the SOC vendor, and then the main thing is just the level of customization needed. I think it's still fairly not early, but kind of in the mid-cycle, the Purple maturity. So it's going to get easier as time goes on. But I think those are the main challenges.
I think you left out the cussing and the throwing of objects as part of those conversations.
Dodging, yeah.
All right, thank you. Peter, anything to add?
No, I was just going to say, I guess that those challenges are, I guess, typically resource constraints on a legacy platform, be that memory or CPU performance, in order to bring those new features. That's about it.
I would say it's not really different from what we've seen in the past, to be frank. It really depends on the customization at the operator. And the second thing, since you are changing the middleware, you always have some APIs, proprietary APIs with a backend, and you need to make a switch in between the APIs. So with any change of system, this takes time. And it's a matter of compromise between what you do and where you do the change. Do you want to have an interface in the cloud and manage? Do you want to have it in the CPE? So whenever you change, it takes time. And that's the main challenge for this kind of project.
One of the challenges we see is that there are still, some missing component in Purple. So, just to name a few, voice over IP, I think it's by purpose, but it's still missing. But because operators are looking for that, IPTV support and LED manager, for example, which is not very complicated, but still somebody has to do it, and some more. So I suppose over the time there will be, and I know there is a backlog for 2025. I suppose that some of them are in the backlog for the next year. So over the time, the set of the component and the support from Purple will be bigger and will ease the integration.
Great, thank you. Thank you all for answering these questions.